So I called Anthony the other day, probably 3 or 4 days ago. It was the first time I've seen the front elevation, the front look of this house all together with every element in it. And I said to him, I said, man, I think this is my favorite front that we've done, that I've came up with. And partly because this floor plan we've built before, probably 3 years ago. And people will fall in love with the floor plan, and actually this house fit perfectly on this lot, but I knew I didn't want to design the exact same front because I want each house to have its own personality, look different. And so I went back and I said, how can I redo the front of that house? And came up with this idea of, one, doing a really dark color, but two, the main difference was the roof lines and the board and batten. So the texture on the house, I did this really dramatic, very tall board and batten. I think the stone complements that color perfectly. It's actually a blend of 2 different stones, believe it or not. So a lot of people wouldn't know all the little things behind the scenes, but I went to the stone manufacturer and the main color is probably 80%. And then I brought in a second color that's 20% of the blend to be able to bring in some of the dark colors to accentuate kind of the dark color of the paint of the house. So that with the copper gutters that were not cheap, but they look amazing. The copper lantern, the black roof, the whole thing just came together, I think, perfectly. And I'm pretty proud of this one because it's a redesign and it's totally new, very indicative of the kind of style that I'm enjoying right now. And I'm excited for the family that's going to move into it. The house was sold quite some time ago, and I'm proud to deliver, I think, another amazing house for somebody to move into.